Well, good day, everybody, and thank you for coming back to the next video. Guys, over the last few days, I've been thinking a lot about the dreams that Pastor Dana Coverstone had back in the summer of 2020. And, none of that stuff came to fruition. I have 4 videos that I did concerning his dreams. And, man, I've spent a lot of time, in the beginning of these first few dreams, I had to go and personally type out, the transcript and looking through it and taking notes. And finally, I think after a while, he started to do that himself. But I did these videos, and I would look back on these videos over the last year and think to myself, why don't I just delete these videos? They didn't come true. So I began to realize, well, maybe these dreams weren't for the fall of 2020. Could it be possible that they're for the fall of 2021? So with that, I went back and I looked at the top 5 or the first 5 prominent dreams, and I made a community post that's on my community page, and I have them listed here with the 5 links to them. I'm just going to go through them at a high level. I'm not going to spend time because you guys can go and download this and look at this yourself. So one thing to note. I know that it's very easy to judge people and say, well, none of that came true. There's a verse in Deuteronomy that says if a prophet stands up and speaks and it doesn't come true, then go ahead and ignore that prophet. He's a false prophet. Yes, that is true. But to assume that when you look at the content of these dreams, and now that I look back at them, to me, the one about the election results being reversed makes more sense that it would be this year than last. It didn't make sense to have that event occurred, and we'll look at the November 3rd date that he saw. But once again, when you watch Pastor Dana, here's his September assembly. When you look at how these dreams came to him, to me there's just no way that this was just some big ruse. That this had to be real. He describes so many things in intricate detail. But for this this is actually the second dream, the September assembly. Like I say here in my post, I actually think that if you know the details of this, the September Solemn Assembly, he said he stood on a calendar, and the calendar was September 1st, and it was the first day of the month. And obviously September 1st this year is on a Wednesday. So here's September 1st. So my thought is, could this September Solemn Assembly be September 7th? And either be the month of Elul or the month of Tishri, but he was standing on the calendar that had a Hebrew month. This is just a thought. I don't know. There's always a mystery to these things. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly look over and go through each dream, and you guys can download this. So the very first dream he had was this dream of events from, that's not this one, I'm sorry. It's this one. Brace yourself. I think it seals 1 through 3. In this dream, he saw the calendar September, October, and November. And November was where the calendar was smashed by the fist. Obviously, something horrible happened in November, and that's where D.C. was burning, and there were Chinese and Russian soldiers on the soil of the United States. The second dream was the September Solemn Assembly, and you guys can go to that one. I'll have a link for it. It's this dream. I've updated the document, and this dream is interesting that at the end of the dream, he's describing a warfare in the heavens by, I think, the remnant, or actually fighting in the heavenly realm, and then he sees heavens open up, and he sees this "Arise, my bride" from the Lord, and he sees 1,000 shofars blowing. This to me sounds like Feast of Trumpets. So if Feast of Trumpets or Yom Teruah is occurring at the end of this dream, then that would mean that this dream starts in the month of Elul. So that's how I see this. It's not that this dream, this September assembly, is the month of Tishri. I see it as the month of Elul, which I've spoken about before as the month of Elul, the first day of the 6th month. It's the same as Haggai. If you go read Haggai 1, and that's what I've listed here. He says the church is strengthened, and it seems to end on Yom Kippur. I speak about that here. Okay. The next dream is the October dream. This is where he sees a rock flying. I've updated it for October 21. He said it was the second full week of October that a rock was flying and hit the water. That's the first thing he saw. And then during this second full week of October, this is when he saw the heads of the politicians explode. My thought is what possibly could be happening during this week of October. If this is the asteroid, I don't know. But it could be where the politicians, or we realize that there's going to be a re-examination of the election results. And the minute that the re-examination is being considered, that's what causes the heads of the politicians to explode. But also, there is supernatural events going on here. Read this green text. This is supernatural events. There is a supernatural gate, and there are the faithful few who are praying for those in the church. Then there's the puffed up pastors who the rug is pulled out. So there is supernatural harvesting going on in the month of October, according to this dream. The fourth dream is the election. I think it's the election results reversed. And then there's volcanic ash is what I see it to be. So here, this was a dream for November. See, this dream didn't make sense, that he saw the finger circle November continuously clockwise, and then it chained to counterclockwise direction. So my thought is here, this is when the election results are reversed. Because look, on November 3rd was the day after the election. Trump's victory is challenged. This could be back then or could be now if this were to go down like this. And then obviously there's frenzied protests everywhere. Then there's the whole thing with the Conestoga wagon, Kamala Harris, and Kamala throws Joe Biden under the bus, the whole thing. I know it sounds crazy. And why is it a Conestoga wagon? Could an EMP blast just occurred? And nothing's really working in the U.S. You're having to literally be horse-drawn carriages or old cars that don't have electronics. Then there's this separation between those in the church. Okay, so that's the November dream. And then the last dream that I think is worth reading is this December, January with the suitcase nukes. So back to my thought here is that for the November dream, I really feel like the ash is a volcanic ash. So, and then there's the suitcase nuke here. I've updated it for 2021 and 2022. You guys can read this. Nuclear suitcases, the white figure, the whole 9 yards. You guys can go revisit all these. So go to my community post. Guys, if you don't know how that works, you go to my channel, you click on community, and there's a post there that has it. It's right there. So guys, with that, I'll let you go. Have a great day, and God bless you.